Cranes seem to be permanent features dotted around Manchester's skyline, and estate agent windows littered with new build flats. But residents in the newly built complexes say that services and facilities have not caught up with the developers' plans, and they have been left marooned without things like schools and doctors' surgeries.
There's been a massive rise in the centre of town in sort of affluent, middle class, professional residents, but the infrastructure hasn't come in to support them. If we were living in Italy, it would be just assumed that people in the centre of town would have kids living with them, and there'd be kids all rushing around the courtyard and playing, and there'd probably be some sort of play facilities in the courtyard for kids, and it would all just be integrated within the society. But in Britain, I don't think kids are really integrated.
It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and despite the fact that children should be coming home from school, there hasn't been a single one come into these block of flats behind me. It seems that parents just can't live in the city centre.
I think it's a mixed story on the infrastructure. I've seen at least one developer selling their properties in the south of the city centre on the quality of the primary schools in Hume, all of which are within easy walking distance, and there are plans for further schools, particularly on the northern edge of the city centre. Clearly shops have increased phenomenally over the last few years, so the shopping in the city centre, if you're a resident, is probably as good as anywhere else. But there are gaps, and one of the big gaps I think is the absence of children play facilities within the city centre, whether it's for residents or for visitors, and we do need, as a council, to work with others to address those things.
And so, if there are new plans by developers to put up new flats, are they going to be carefully looked at in terms of whether the city can actually support them?
Well, I think that there are a whole range of facilities we ought to be looking to develop within the city centre. We've got some aren't as strong here. We need to make sure that as new development is brought forward, all of it will have a mixed-use element. None of it's 100% housing. That mixed-use element, the other uses, are things that do provide us with the infrastructure we need.
Residents in the new city flats say that there is a severe lack of infrastructure to support all the new people flooding into the new developments. And the council agrees that there is a shortage of things like children's play areas and GP surgeries. But the leader of the council says that while he is seriously considering plans for new schools and GP surgeries, he has to consider the demand for such services. In the meantime, city residents will have to make do with commuting out for the facilities they need. This is Jessica Salter for the Manchester Evening News.